Yes, guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to a brand new video. Mikel Arteta says that Arsenal don't need a striker. What we need at the moment is the fans to continue trusting the team and being behind the team. That is what we need to get the goals. That is what he says. We don't need a striker. We need the fans to continue supporting the team and to continue being behind the team. How that is going to put the goals into the back of the net, how that is going to make us score more goals, I'm not really sure, but that is what Mikel thinks, and I think Arsenal have a big problem. We absolutely have a problem with Mikel Arteta's ego. We have a problem with a manager that is very arrogant, too arrogant to see the situation and address it like it should be. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel as well. This is Mikel Arteta. First and foremost, he was asked about why we couldn't score in the Liverpool game, and you can see a big explanation. There was no need for such a big explanation. There is no need for us to say so many words, on why we didn't score. No reason. We don't have a striker. Deal done. So Mikel says that we didn't score because the ball didn't go into the net, right? We didn't take the chances. I haven't seen any other team in the first 6 months that have generated what we have done against the last two games, and we are not capitalizing. Not today. In the last few games, that's why we are not winning games. Performance-wise, merit-wise, there is no question. But to win the game, actually the results say something very, very different. When my team plays with that attitude, with that courage, with that desire, and do what they've done, probably the best team in Europe at the moment in terms of momentum. But what can I do? Stay behind them and support them at the moment. Now, this is where Mikel Arteta absolutely is wrong, right? This is where he's wrong. Now, he goes on to say about supporters asking for a striker in January. He says, what I beg the supporters is that they are behind the team, right? That they've done in difficult moments. Stick with the ones we have. They're incredible and they're really, really good. They're incredibly good. Edin Ketia and Gabriel Jesus are incredibly good. He also says if not, they don't do what they've done again today in Anfield and here. Stick with them. It's exactly what they need. What we are, that we are fully behind the team and we are fully behind them. Then they feel important and supported because they deserve it. They don't deserve it, right? They don't deserve it. With their attitude, they don't deserve anything different. That is his opinion. That is Mikel Arteta. On the frustrations of good performances and not winning games, he says it's frustrating. But what can we do? I cannot tell them to play bad, don't shoot. Liverpool is going to score an own goal and we are going to win the game. I don't know how to create a game plan like this. It's impossible. Stick with them. If we have 18, next time we have 35, and continuously do that. Do that with the ball, and the ball will go into the back of the net. We'll generate momentum and we will win a lot of games. That is for sure. So Mikel Arteta, that is his reaction to the lack of goals. That is his reaction to fans asking for a striker, and that is his reaction to everyone seeing the problem and going, Arsenal are a very good team. They just need a striker, and that is all we are saying. I've not done a video, God sees me. I've not done a video on this channel or on my podcast and said, well, Arsenal are a poor side and we need a reshuffle. All I have always said, all everyone has said, Arsenal need a striker. Be it Ivan Toney, be it the cheaper options, just someone that could put the ball into the back of the net, and that is their job. And they understand the job description and they know what to do. That is what we are looking for, right? But for me, the biggest problem at this side right now, the biggest problem at Arsenal is Mikel Arteta's ego. He's very good as a manager, don't get me wrong. The way we are playing nice football out there, I wouldn't swap him out for any other manager. I wouldn't take in any other manager. Like, I really do like the football we are playing. It reminds me of an organized Arsenal, and we are an organized team. But the ego of Mikel Arteta is going to make him a mediocre manager, and he is going to become an average gaffer. if you cannot be ruthless with every single decision you make, if you cannot be ruthless with every single player, you're a mediocre manager. It's as simple as that. You are a mediocre manager. Top level managers address their problems like never before. They address their problems as if those problems are going to cost them their job. You look at Mikel Arteta. In the summer, you had to get in a striker. You didn't. In January this year, you have to sign a striker, and you're telling us all this bullshit, how you want to sign a left back, how your priority is defense. How is defense your priority when you've taken 61 shots in the last 3 games and scored 1 goal? How is that the problem of the defense? How is that the problem of the fans? How have the fans, how are the fans being behind the team got to, to help the team score, right? At the moment, I mean, we are chanting Arsenal. We are breathing Arsenal. We have supported this team for like the last 20 years, and more and more and more, depending on your age. How is that solving the problem? If you don't get, this is a very straightforward problem, and Mikel has got to understand that. If you don't stand a striker, you don't score goals. It's as simple as that. The ego aside, arrogance aside, poor decision making aside, the problem we have is as clear as day. I don't know if day is clearer or night is clearer, because when night comes in, you can know it's night, right? But it's as clear as day. We are not scoring goals, but we have chances. And I hate it when anyone, including Mikel Arteta, says we have taken 61 shots, right? And therefore we are on top of games. Shots don't determine the XG. Shots don't determine how close you are to scoring goals. But in the Liverpool game, Reece Nelson, 2 chances, and I'm telling you, both of those chances in a normal setup should be falling to Ivan Toney. Those chances in the back of the net. Kai Havertz, 2 chances in a normal setup, in a good setup, those chances are falling to Dusan Vlahovic. Those chances, both of them in the back of the net. Bukayo Saka, 2 chances, both of them should be in the back of the net. Martin Odegaard, 2 chances, and those should be in the back of the net. So Arsenal had a chance to score 8 goals in total, and we scored none, conceded 2, and the manager says, what I can say about us signing a striker is that the fans should be behind the team. Trust these players, they're incredibly good. They are not incredibly good in front of goal, they're useless in front of goal. That is the truth, right? That is the truth. And let us rewind. Let us rewind a little bit. Apart from Gabriel Martinelli, Odegaard, and Saka, how many goals did our forwards score last campaign? How many goals did Eddie score last campaign? How many goals did Gabriel Jesus score last campaign? I mean, he's talking about incredibly good strikers, incredibly good players. They will win games. We still have 18 games. That is a very poor mentality, and I tell you, Manchester City, Liverpool, they don't have that mentality. And Pep Guardiola, when he lost a couple of games, he said, we are coming back to prove anyone wrong. We are coming back to prove the world that we are as good as we are, and we are going to put up a fight. And they're putting a good shift, and right now, Man City, title favorites, fighting with Liverpool. Liverpool at the moment, title contenders. Arsenal, none of that. Title contenders, not title favorites. But for one reason, and one reason alone, when we see a problem, we don't fix it. When Liverpool see a problem, they're like, wait a moment. We need Darwin Núñez, we need Cody Gakpo, because Sadio Mane has gone and we don't have one player that can replace Sadio Mane. So you have Jota, you have Gakpo, you have Darwin Núñez, you have Luis Diaz. Those 4 players have come in to replace Roberto Firmino and Sadio Mane. And I tell you right now, Liverpool fans are not really, satisfied with any of those 4, but they're satisfied with the combined effort of those 4 players. So you're telling me that Liverpool have 5 elite attackers, Arsenal have 3 not elite attackers, but just 3 ordinary attackers, and the solution to the goal-scoring problem is the fans being behind the team. Throw more light. How does it work? So when we chant, score a goal, hit the back of the net, then the ball automatically hits the back of the net. That's not it. We are the lowest scoring team in in the top 6, top 7, and we are now conceding goals for fun. We're conceding on goals. Every set piece is turning into a goal scoring opportunity for the opponent, and they're scoring it. So what exactly are we? On which trajectory are we? Are we on a downward trajectory? Are we on an upward trajectory? So for me, this is my take on Mikel Arteta. Good manager, and I think he, for the ambitions of a club like Everton, he would be a wonderful gaffer. He would be he would do wonders at Everton. Just imagine Everton flirting with top 10 every single campaign, because that is what Mikel Arteta does. He will win the first 19 games, right, of the campaign. Those how many, and collect around 45 points. And then at the end of the campaign, he will have you around mid-table with around 65, 70 games. That is mid-table, right? That is mid-table. Mid-table teams, Brighton, have the ability to go 2 seasons, 3 seasons without a striker, right? With Danny Welbeck up top, alongside Dennis Undav. No one cares. No one cares where Brighton finished, right? I mean, as the football analysts, we'll talk about it, and we'll say, well, Brighton have been so good this season. Look at them. They're in the Europa League. I mean, that's good. No one cares. Really, no one cares. But when you're at Arsenal and you win your first 19 games, and within the first 20 games, you've actually collected 40 points. You know what that means? 40 points. It means that an extra 40 points could win you the title. And then you start crumbling like that, and then you look at problems, you look at you stare problems in the face, and then you lie about not wanting a striker, you lie about Arsenal not needing a number 9. Is that where we are now? Is that the kind of manager that we have? Is that the kind of manager that we are going to be with for a very long time? Because I want him to be here at Arsenal for a very long time, and I wouldn't swap him for anyone at the moment. But with that arrogance, because for me, he's a smart boy, and he's absolutely smart. You don't get to that level, take on Arsenal, transform it in the way you've done, and you're not a smart boy. He is a smart lad, but he's got to do better. He's got to do better. This January transfer window is about one player, and that player is a striker. It doesn't matter. Go out in January, sniff any riffraff, right? And I do not care if riffraff is our striker. Get him in, okay? Just get in any kind of, even if it's a bogus lame guy that won't actually score goals, just get him in. Because for me, if you look at Mikel Arteta, Gabriel Jesus misses the game. Who is our next number 9? Eddie Nketiah. Mikel says Eddie is incredibly good. He also says that Eddie Nketiah is going to score goals. Let's give him time. How long has Eddie Nketiah been at Arsenal? And if he's incredibly good and your starting number 9 is not in the game, why doesn't he play? Easy. Because you do not trust him, because he is not good enough, because he's not the level to take you and compete with Liverpool, Man City, Bayern. And I was just, I was watching Turkish, I think on the watch along at FTV, and it was saying that we could be watching our season fall apart. Actually, the only mistake he did is add could in that statement. We have just seen our season fall apart. You're not saving this, guys. You're not saving this. Realistically, again, that's why I like Turkish. Are we going to win 18 games of the last 18? Absolutely fucking none. I'm giving you a guarantee. Arsenal will lose points in 8 of the last 18 points. Of the last 18 games. We will lose some, we'll draw, and the total will be 8 games. So if you drop points in the next 8 games, right? So that is, you have an extra 30 points from the 10 you might win. So that is 70. And maybe out of these 8 games, you lose 4 and draw 4. So you get 4 points. That would be around 34 points, okay? 34 points. That is around 74 points. 74 points. At this point in the campaign, with Man City and Liverpool setting the standards, 74 points, I'm not going to lie, 74 points take you to the Europa League. And I won't be surprised to see Arsenal in the Europa League. I won't be, and for me, if Arsenal get to the Europa League, I'm calling it now. I won't be surprised. I won't be surprised to see us playing Lamek CSV from Turkey. I won't be surprised to see us playing Sporting Lisbon if they don't qualify for the Champions League. I won't be surprised to see Hapoel Beersheva in the same group as Arsenal, because what we have done here is to get a rifle, coach it very well, and shoot ourselves in the bloody foot. That's what we're doing. And Mikel has got to wake up, because the problem is just beginning, right? He's talking about supporters being behind the team now. He loses the Crystal Palace game or draws that game. If he doesn't win Crystal Palace, and by the time we get to FC Porto, Arsenal are not yet at 60 or 65 points. It's going to be a bloody disaster. And listen, we are in a crisis. And this crisis is just being escalated by manager, who thinks that clapping and cheering is going to get players firing balls into the back of the net. You are deluded, mate. You are absolutely deluded.